Crazy ways to get free food in the UK. Some state that there is nothing of the sort as a free supper, yet those individuals simply haven't made enough of an effort. The old Romans said that people in general could be engaged with bread and bazaars, and parting with free food has consistently been a decent method to guarantee fame. Throughout the long term, the UK has developed countless conventions that outcome some fortunate individuals winding up with free food. 2020 has been an intense year for everybody, so here are 10 different ways you can get taken care of for nothing. Number 1. St. Brival's. Generally, the best food you can expect in an Anglican church is a little saltine and some wine. However, consistently at the congregation in the little town of St. Brival's, you may be fortunate enough to get pelted with bread and cheddar. Every year a vicar is welcome to convey a message in which they possibly get paid in the event that the assemblage cheers at that point. And at that point, in a custom dating from the 12th century, chosen local people take bins containing little 3D shapes of cheddar and bread to the highest point of a divider known as the pound wall. Give claimers at that point assemble at the base of divider and trust that food will descend upon them. A few people utilize improved umbrellas to guarantee that they discover something without the food contacting the ground. Peculiarly, most don't really eat the bread or cheddar, yet safeguard them and keep them as lucky trinkets. Excavators once figured the food would stop mine breakdowns. Today the solid shapes of food are placed in matchboxes and put under cushions to permit individuals to dream about what's to come. Number 2. Farthing Loaf Day. A large number of the food disseminations that spec the British year came about in light of the fact that individuals left cash in their wills to give them. It's a decent method to be both recalled and recollected affectionately. Individuals love free food. Yet, it's anything but a secure method to ensure your name lives for eternity. In Kidderminster, an old widow who lived on Church Street left an amount of cash in her will to guarantee there was consistently a feeling of network in the city. Shockingly, the name of this liberal old house cleaner has been failed to remember. On Midsummer Eve, any individual who was brought into the world on the road was invited to come and join a blowout that got known as Farthing Loaf Day. Tragically, the cash ran out because of awful venture. However, John Brucknell of Church Street, whose name is recollected, left £150 to the cause in 1776. He needed a tuppenny plum cake to be given to each kid and unmarried lady in the city just as the bread. He likewise gave lines, tobacco, and beer to the ones who met in companionship. The toast given at the gathering is harmony and good neighborhood. Food will in general make individuals all the more neighborly. If you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Number 3. Tichborne Dole. At the point when Lady Mabella Tichborne lay biting the dust in the 13th century, she approached her significant other for a generally minor kindness: disseminate food to poor people. Her better half concurred, yet with one fairly unforgiving condition. He would give land to corn to be developed on that would be utilized to make bread for the destitute. Yet, he would just give however much land that the debilitated woman could creep around while holding a consuming light. Wonderfully, Lady Mabella figured out how to cover 23 sections of land. That land is as yet known as the Crawls today and gives the flour to the Tichborne dole, which is given out each Lady Day, the 25th of March. In the past, portions of bread were given out. However, today any individual who goes to will be given a proportion of flour to prepare with for themselves. Having perceived how her significant other treated her solicitation, Lady Mabella is said to have added a revile. On the off chance that the Tichborne dole is ever halted, at that point the family will vanish and the house tumble down. At the point when it was dropped in the 18th century, after the give turned out to be too rambunctious, piece of the house did fall and it was quickly restarted. The Tichborne name makes stew right up till the present time. Number 4. Scrambling Cakes. In the event that you were adequately fortunate to live in Twickenham in 1367, you may have been qualified for a flawless give of free food, a few peas or beans. Shockingly, this food appropriation was halted, yet a more delectable one was begun when 2 extraordinary cakes were thrown to the poor every Easter Sunday. However, as will happen when you toss 2 cakes to a group, an uproar would frequently result. The issue brought about by the throwing of the cakes turned out to be problematic, to the point that the Parliament of 1645 needed to step in and boycott the custom. For reasons unknown, they didn't feel that battling about pieces of cake was an especially sacred approach to observe Jesus. They recommended that conventional portions of bread be supped, and this appears to have made for a calmer festival. A later convention in Twickenham might be identified with the scrambling for cakes and portions. The Vicar's Day charity saw a neighborhood cleric climb a congregation pinnacle and toss portions of bread to youngsters beneath. Their scrambling for food was obviously adequately suitable. Number 5. Wayfarer's Charity. In the event that free food is acceptable, at that point free liquor is better. It used to be that an explorer crossing Britain could hope to discover good cause on the off chance that they required it in many towns. Strict establishments took care of individuals and frequently offered them convenience. After the disintegration of the cloisters anyway, this convention generally vanished. In Winchester anyway, there is as yet one spot where any individual who needs it can turn up and get a bit of bread and a cup of brew. The Hospital of St. Cross, an almshouse of noble poverty, was a magnanimous house established during the 1130s. A French priest brought over the custom of disseminating bread and wine to poor people, yet brew was believed to be a more English beverage. Today, in the event that you need to get a little supper with the expectation of complimentary, you should simply demand it at the porter's lodge. Then again, you could get one of the 25 siblings of the house who get a loft to live in at a decreased lease and a financed 2-course lunch.